Alright, hello. I'm going to try to do this video quick. It's the old Madonna date for when she's going to croak it, okay? Prediction. Now, this isn't the first time I've looked at dates for Madonna to croak it, okay? As people that follow the channel will know, I've mentioned this idea several times, and in a lot earlier videos I've mentioned this idea that there could be a potential ritual date for Madonna's death, and we've already seen the Queen's death, which is all again to do with the old hag that's been in power too long dying and making way for the new, the one, man to take over from the new king, to take over as rightful heir. And again, this is what we would be dealing with Madonna's potential death, is that same idea, the same thing we had going on with the World Cup. It's the same story retold again. And of course, this is a big character. This character has a lot of significance and a lot of interesting kind of symbolism and ties, potentially to the Hoover Dam. There's several little ways you can get back to the Hoover Dam from Madonna. Several videos as well, music videos of hers that will, there's just all kinds of little bits and bobs strung out in her stuff. Too much. I mean, I could spend days doing videos on Madonna, but I don't want to do that. I just really want to do this very quickly. So we're just going to dive straight in because I already spent too long talking there. Let's go to the dartboard, and I'll show you something interesting in the dartboard, and we'll just crack on with it. Alright, I'm calling this the Madonna cross. Here's her birthday here, 8/16, the 16th of August, right? And we can do, if you've not seen my dartboard decodes, do yourself a favour and go back and watch some of those. But to cut a long story short, we have a condensed version of Christmas here, 12/5. It's the condensed version of 12/25. There's several reasons why we do that. I'm not going into it. And we have the matrix number at the top here, which is 521. So this is May the 21st here. And of course, that is also a reverse condensed version of Christ's birthday. So, this is an important number, this 125, right? Anyway, we've had some stuff happen recently with Kirstie Alley dying. We also had an announcement about some nuclear discoveries, which actually happened on, the announcement was made a few days later. I can't remember what day it was on, but anyway, the 5th of December was when they supposedly made the discovery, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But we're going to go from this day here, and if we go from 12/5, right, the 5th of December, and we go, we're going to use these numbers that are directly opposite now, and we're going to go 27 days on from that. Okay, it's going to take us to the 1st. Yeah, it's going to take us to 1/1. Okay, the 1st of January. Okay, the 1st of Jan. Now, this is important because this is going to tie back in with our with a couple of things, all right? But before I get off of this, I also want to point out this number here, right? This 413 or 314 of pi. Okay, it's also a 143, And again, 143 is to do with balance. It's 55 plus 88. That's our two main columns in our decode table, the chart of Lorraine. And we have one represents man, mankind, the physical being, the physical side of reality, and the other represents the spiritual side of reality, the metaphysical, the thing that you can't touch, you can't see. So this is an important balancing number. It's the completion of a cycle, and it's the balance of those two columns, all right? And so the completion of a cycle being pi, right? I hope you're following along. So anyway, we can do an interesting number jump from the 1st of January, and we can add on 314 days, 314, which is going to take us to the 315th day of the year. Okay, because we're already one day into the year with January. So the 315th day of the year is 11/11. Okay, super important. And also this 314th day of the year right here, that's opposite Madonna here, Madonna's birthday, that is also the 10th of November. Okay, so it's important to see what's going on here, right, with these dates that we're already conjuring up. Now, where do I want to go from here? Okay, the reason why this, I'll tell you one thing why this is important with the Hoover Dam again. This 11/11, okay, super important, right? Because okay, it's right there at the Hoover Dam. Okay, there's two inlet towers on each side of the dam. When you look at it, the dam comes around like this, and there's a little inlet tower here, one here, one here, and one here. Okay, and it's just an 11 and 11 on each side of the Hoover Dam. Right, so this 11/11, super important. 315 days gone in the year, and what's important about that is this thing right here at the center of this deal right here, this number right here, 50. Okay, the bullseye. Okay, this corresponds with 315th day of the year. There's 50 days left in the year, so this is, 50 is the place to be. It's the bullseye. It's the thing you've got to, it's the balance point. Okay, the thing is not to go into that thing and get trapped on the wrong side of reality. Okay, and that can happen, when it happens on one side, you automatically get trapped on the other side as well. It's difficult to explain, but yeah, let's not even try to explain it right now. Gosh, anyway. let's look at a couple of number jumps now, and then I'll go through some of these tabs and we'll tie back to some of this stuff. Actually, before I do that, let's just go to the chart of Lorraine, and I'll show you some of these numbers as well while I'm talking. Okay, because what is important about let's go to it. What's important about the 1st of January, that date that's predicted there in the dartboard, is this. Okay, and that's not how I got to that date, by the way. I got to that date just on the off chance that somebody wants to know, is I was just thinking to myself, I'm just constantly thinking, that Madonna's got to die, because at the minute I've got penciled in the 29th of January for the Hoover Dam to get some kind of crack in it or something, or break open or whatever, but some kind of event at the Hoover Dam, right? And I'm thinking, it's got to happen. This Madonna thing's just got to happen. If it's going to happen, it's got to happen. If the Hoover Dam thing is going to happen on the 29th of January, I'm thinking, there's got to be a Madonna reference, and it's got to be a reference that is referencing the number 11 again, because the Queen was all about the number 11. And I'm thinking, it's, you know, the Virgin Mary is all about the number 11. You know, the metaphysical is all about the number 11. It's got to be something that references the number 11 pretty good. I'm thinking, why not just the first? I just was, you know, like, why not the 1st of January? You know, why wouldn't that work? There's a 1-1, there's an 11, and I'm like, I don't know why I don't know. Anyway, I just happened to look at this, and I'm like, 364 days left in the year. I'm thinking, bloody hell, hang on a minute. In the table, our 11 column, we have 364 down here in the bottom of the table here in the 11 column. Yeah. So the 1st of January references, and the 364 references this column perfectly. I'm like, huh. With the Queen's data right here, 89, 199, and 254, I'm like, bloody hell, that would be that would be like a top-notch date for something to happen, because it's pretty blatant with the Queen there. I mean, it's not like something's being hidden with the Queen at all. So I mean, why would you hide something with Madonna? I mean, why not use those 2 dates there? Or, well, it's 1 date, but anyway. So that's where I was going with that, and I just happened to be looking at the dartboard and thinking about things on the dartboard, and that whole thing with the dartboard kind of happened, and that was basically from the 2 events with Kirstie Alley and the nuclear fusion deal. I'm like, oh, they're really, you know, there's some highlights here with the 12-5, you know, and of course, lo and behold, 27 days later takes you to the 1st. So it all starts kind of looking interesting. Let's leave it at looking very interesting. There was another thing that was, so I'm just going to go all over the place with this now. Okay, there was another thing that was bugging me as well, and I've been watching this video. I've watched this video several times. Let's see if I can find it. No, I'm gonna hold. We'll need that one in just a second. Where the hell is that? Here it is. This Madonna single, Ghost Town. This is pretty much a sort of apocalypse type video. Again, it's all about rebirth. Again, there's some Hoover Dam symbolism in there, which I actually need to do a video on. But this right here, the 13th of March, got me interested because it's got personal significance for me, super personal significance. And so I'm like, what day of the year is that? The 13th is, that's February. Cool. 13th of March is the 72nd day of the year, right? And again, I'm like, oh, this is really starting to look pretty interesting with the old 27 days on being, in fact, I might even have it up somewhere here, and in fact, we'll go through all these in a minute. But 77 days on being, no, I don't have it up here. 77 days on. 27 days on being the 20, let me get this right. 27 days on from the 5th is the 1st, okay? What's interesting about, so we have that referenced in this thing, right? Oh, bloody hell, we're just all over the place now. We have that referenced here. We also have this 49. I mean, the 49 right here, again, these are two dates that go before, what am I going to say? See, 49 is before 50, okay? And again, what I was just saying about the 315th day of the year, 50 days left, okay? 50 days is important. That's that bullseye, right? The 13th, again, 72nd day of the year, the next day on from that, okay? So we're going on another day. So this is Eve dates again. We're before the day. The next day on is 73, which is El, which is God, yeah? So we have Eve dates referenced here with Ghost Town. Super interesting, I think. Anyway, and again, that 27 days or 72 is the day before. And again, the 28th, you'll see the 28th reference with Madonna quite a bit. We might find one here in a minute. But the 28th again, the 28th of February for sure. And in fact, actually, I think that the 28th of February, the day before the one is born, every 4 years, the one is born on the 29th of February. So the 28th references that again. And let me just double check this before I go blabbing it and doing something wrong. For August the 16th, her birthday, 228, yeah, there it is. Okay, so again, the days of the year cross-referencing with the actual date, just interesting stuff. And again, ties into the 137 there, and of course the 27 and the 73. Okay, oh, 72, 72, 73, 27. Okay, 28. Ah, oh, blimmin' hell, we're all over the place with these, the sort of Eve dates, right? So I've completely lost where I'm going now, but let's go back to the table real quick and just collect ourselves a little bit, collect our thoughts, because there was a Madonna song called Die Another Day, and in that song, I might click on it in a minute, I've got it up there somewhere, 10:22 was referenced, okay? And this is to do with a previous decode. In fact, I was predicting maybe the 25th because of Die Another Day, okay? I was kind of thinking like, well, they picked 10:22 for the song Die Another Day. Maybe they're trying to say the other day would be the 25th of October rather than the 22nd of October. So Madonna potentially maybe was going to die on the 25th of October. That didn't happen, okay? But Die Another Day is interesting because the two numbers that we're referencing, again with that 314, is 10:11, okay? And 10:11. So Die Another Day, we could maybe say, well, we could reference the 11 here for another day, and this 225 could be referencing this 364 for another day. Super interesting. Again, I might come across that here in a second when we go back, but I want to do this number jump, this one that's right here, which I believe is being referenced in Die Another Day. Can't be 100% certain because it's a 10:22. But let's do that number jump, see where it takes us, which is up here. And I'm going to do a minus, and that takes us back to that May 21, okay, 521, which is at the top of the dartboard, which is our you know, is our, call it just the matrix birthday number type thing. Okay, so an important number for cross-referencing number jumps, right? Well, what's interesting about this May the 21st is we can do another number jump, right? So from January the 1st, if Madonna was to die on that day, we're already one day in the year. So to get to 9/11, we've got to go 253 days, right? Well, if we go from that May date again, 253 days on from it, we get to January the 29th. Okay, again, it's becoming super interesting, all these number jumps. And I mean, this isn't, I'm not even going to do half of them. I mean, all the basic stuff I'm not even going to do today. That'll have to be for another day. Here's another interesting number jump here. From January the 1st, we'll go 101 days. I'm going backwards on this, okay? But we're going to go backwards 101 days, and it's going to take us to September the 22nd, okay? Again, September the 22nd is, we're back with the Virgin Mary again, the birth. Again, we're 9 months and some change into the year. The birth of man would be at that time if the spark was at Christmas. We're going from the transition of Virgo to Libra. The idea is, again, with the equinox there, that we're transitioning from the mother to the sun again there. Okay, again, the idea of a rebirth thing going on. 101. Why am I bringing up 101? Because that's Hoover Gematria. Okay, I got it in the Gematrinator. Hoover Dam 101. You know, where's the Hoover Dam built? In the Black Canyon. Okay, part of the Grand Canyon. I guess, I don't know if it's just, I don't know how they I don't know how they define what the Grand Canyon and that what it is, but anyway, this is the Black Canyon, right? 101, right? Hoover Dam 101. So again, 101 is super important. I'll show you something else with this if I can, maybe if I get lucky and click on the right one. I don't think it's going to be this one. No, it's not this one, but while I'm here we'll talk about it. We'll come back to the 101 in just a minute. Take a bow. Actually, I don't want to talk about that one now, but look, here's this is take a bow, you know, when you're gonna croak it, just before you croak it. 5-2-1, and we've got the 1-2-6 referenced in here. 1-2-6 is, again, I would put that down with Kobe's thing, which is the 26th of January. So we have a nice reference to that, which is 4 days inclusive before the 29th. Okay. Not wanting that one. Die Another Day. Here we go. Here's Die Another Day. I'm not wanting that one, but here you can see the 22nd. And I believe, actually, hang on. I believe, let me just get the calculator out. I think, no, I don't think, I'm not thinking right here. Forget that idea for a minute. Not that I've told you what it was, but forget it. Oh, here we go. Madonna Jump. Remember I did that decode? September the 11th, yeah. History, yeah. Even though this is, why reference it after the fact? Well, they've referenced it with side B and said this is history. Now let's look at the future. 346. We can rearrange those numbers into the 364 and 346. I think 3 times 60 is 180, and then if we add on 46, that's going to take us to 226. Okay, 226. You can simply just flip your calculator around with 226 on it and it will say 922. Okay, September the 22nd. An interesting little bit of information there, but I guess actually what might make that look even better is, oh well, I thought I had that up here somewhere. I can't remember what song it was now. Take a bow. I should have sworn I had it. Oh yeah, I did have it up. You know where it is. Where is it? No, it's not Madonna's version of American Pie, which is again 228. Gosh darn it, I could have sworn I had. Here we are. No, The Power of Goodbye, maybe that was it. Here we go. Oh, blooming hell, we got lucky there because I could have been hours because she's got so many blooming songs. The Power of Goodbye. Okay, again, previous song, Drowned World, Substitute for Love. The Power of Goodbye. September the 22nd. Released. Interesting. Even got a 410 reference there. The 410, it doesn't, well, it is in the table. I do have it in here. It's the total for pi right here. These all added up across here is 410. Okay. So again, you know, I mean, I literally, like I said, I could spend hours going through her whatever you call it, the back catalogue of her songs, and it's just loaded. It's just absolutely loaded with stuff. Anyway, where do I want to go? Because this video is probably going to be super long, and of course I'm jumping all over the place with stuff. Where did we get to? We got to, yeah, we got to the, that's the one I was trying to find earlier, December the 5th, 27 days on, January the 1st. Okay, and there's our tie-in. Oh, this is a nice tie-in, yeah, because the 101, this is where we were just at, and it went to the 22nd of September, so we've seen those links now. And then let's use the 101 again, but go from January the 29th, October the 20th. And the interesting thing about October the 20th is this ties quite nicely in with the Hoover Dam through, if I could find the dude, where is he? Herbert Hoover. Okay, this is again is our 20th of October. Okay, 20th of October, Herbert Hoover, 20th of October dies. Right. Interestingly enough, born August the 10th, which is the 222nd day of the year, 143rd day left in the year, 143 days left. Remember, this is interesting. 143 days left. This is the combination of these two columns. Okay, and 222. Again, the total for this column right here, number 8 column, and these two add together to make 365 days of a year. So again, super important. What else do I want to say? There's also another nice little Hoover reference as well with the 1st of January, because J. Edgar Hoover is born January 1. Okay, dies May the 2nd. 25 or a 52 reference, but a 25 reference is good with with that idea of the outer bullseye being 25. That's the ring, yeah, the thing around the corona around the sun there that you get to see with the eclipse. All right. So again, what else do I want to say? While we're here, we might as well talk about David Bowie. Again, David Bowie, born 8th of January. Why is that significant? Because the 8th of January is also Elvis's birthday. Elvis is also the death date of Elvis is Madonna's birthday. If you take Elvis and if you write the alphabet out one way, right, A, B, C, D, F, and then if you write it out Z underneath in reverse from Z to A in reverse underneath, and you pick out the name Elvis and you use the corresponding letter that comes underneath each of those letters for Elvis, you will come up with the word hover. Okay, that's courtesy of Jurassic Liars channel. But what's interesting about that is, again, the hover is the Hoover, and this is what part of the whole reason why I got so interested in the idea of the Hoover Dam collapsing is because of that scene in Back to the Future 2, the hoverboard scene, the Hooverboard scene. That scene, I believe, is that ritual being portrayed in Back to the Future 2. Okay, that scene where Marty goes skimming across the Lake Mead in front of the Hoover Dam there, Dam Buster style, with his little skimming across there, and then he finally takes the big dunk, takes the big plunge, and is rebaptized, or you know what I mean, rebirthed, and yeah, the Hoover Dam there gets smashed up by Griff in that one, and that was the whole thing that really got me hooked on the idea of that thing was going to happen. There's a reason why they've got boulders placed all around that area there, to represent Boulder. That used to be called the Boulder Dam. The Hoover Dam was right there at Boulder City. So there's some subtle stuff in Back to the. Well, I'd say it's pretty subtle. It looks it's pretty blatant if it were to happen. But anyway, that was one of the things that really got me all started on that. The Hoover, the hover. Okay, and so Elvis, of course, with his links to Vegas. I mean, to me, it's a big thing. But anyway, where I was going with this David Bowie thing is we've already got we got a 10th of January for his death. Okay, so we've got an 11 reference and a 10-11 reference, with January being the 11th month if you want it to be, or you could just say 101 with this as well. I mean, and David is the bowman, Odysseus, who shoots his arrow through the eye of the axe head. Okay, I believe it's the eye of the axe head, not the axe handle. And that is the same as shooting through the bullseye, the 50. So you see how I'm going around in circles with this stuff. And we could have done a lot more number jumps. But anyway, here we go with, let's do Kirstie Alley. Who's the ally of Christ? Yeah, the ally of Christ is the Virgin Mary. Okay, so Kirstie Alley, where is Christ born from? He's born between the two legs down that alleyway. Okay, I mean, I don't really know what else to say about it. But this was this 5th of December reference date. Look who's talking. Who? Um, it's like Madonna with "Who's That Girl?" Um, oh dear. But anyway, there was an interesting reference with Kirstie Alley. Was she's married to Bob Alley, and I'm like, how can she be married to Bob Alley if her name was born Kirstie Alley? How can she be? Did he take her name or something? No, what happened was she just happened to marry a guy with exactly the well, at least the first and last name exactly the same as her father. Um, she happened to marry an Alley, so she was born an Alley and then married an Alley and stayed an Alley. So anyway, what's interesting is we've got the double Bob reference here. Marries Bob, father's Bob. And I'm like, with the double Bob reference, I'm thinking, oh, I know who the two Bobs are. The two Bobs are Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale. And I'm thinking Back to the Future. So it just is like, the references. And then the other thing that happened on this day, this thing, on the 5th of December, okay, this experiment, controlled fusion experiment, okay. What was funny about this is that I was listening to the jargon, and I God knows if this is really true anyway, and you know I'm just going to leave it at that because I could waffle about whether this is real or not for a long time on this, but this is the story they put out, and what do I want to say about it? Obviously, we have this nuclear, the fusion idea again, and I'm thinking atom bomb references. But they did reference again. This ties Back to the Future with the fusion, um, the controlled fusion reaction that is happening in the DeLorean with Mr. Fusion, I think it's called, isn't it? On the back of the DeLorean there that replaces the plutonium. So I'm already kind of thinking Back to the Future again, and then they say that they're using X-rays, that these lasers that are fired at this fuel pellet to cause this fusion reaction is generating X-rays, and that's what ends up causing this reaction. And I'm thinking, okay, that's interesting. And I just happened to be looking on this day, for January the 1st. So I'm like, well, we'll have a quick look, see if anything interesting actually happens on this day. And I'm straight away when I see Rontgen here, I'm thinking of Back to the Future because all the dials have Rontgen on them. Announces his discovery of X-rays, and I'm like, really? I'm just the links back to back. I know that's a crazy little link that's not really that significant, but for me, it's I'm like, oh boy. Anyway, I don't think there was anything majorly important here. I mean, I could probably tie into some of these. Just J. Edgar Hoover was the main one for that one. I don't know if there was something interesting about a toilet as well. Oh no, this was it. United Kingdom forms. Yeah, so that's interesting. Again, with that thing, for what it is being formed. So, what else did I have to say about this? Oh, this ghost town thing. Let's jump back to that now. Something interesting in the video for Ghost Town. Okay, among other things that are interesting is, again, as I was saying, this is the apocalyptic type video of hers. See this 28 here, right at the end. 28 days later is 129, and I'm I'm thinking now. I'm thinking this thing. 28 days later, Danny Boyle. Yeah. Um, again, apocalyptic things going on here. So anyway, what else did I have? We've done the Kirstie Alley thing. Did we have any? We managed to get that thing sorted. We've done the J. Edgar. We've done the Herbert Hoover, J. Edgar there. What else have we not taken care of here, Dan? Oh, Wall Street Crash. I'll lump this one in here. It's not. It didn't really need to be in this video, but again, with the October the 29th, part of that Wall Street Crash was on October the 29th. And again, the wall that has to come down, the thing that has to be broken down again, 1929. But what the other interesting thing about that was this October the 24th. And October the 24th is the date of the release of Don McLean's American Pie. So we got that nice little tie in there with the Bye Bye Miss American Pie, the Chevy to the levee, and the levee was dry. So we got that nice tie in, and also Madonna did that when I've talked about that before. So we've got a lot of nice stuff that ties together. Do we have anything with the date, the calendar changing? If you go one way, we're at December the 19th. And if we flip the other way from Gregorian to Julian, let's put just so you can see it here. Let's see where that goes to. Where's January gone? There we are. That goes to, again, 114, the 14th of January. So again, super interesting. What else did I have? I think we've pretty much covered everything. I ended up talking about the Take a Bow. We've done the Ghost Town. We've done Jump. What else have we got? Oh, again with the Kirstie Alley thing. Okay, this is a nice tie-in as well to Ali. I don't know how you even say the second name. Sheedy, I guess. Sheedy. Anyway, Ali Sheedy. What was interesting about this was she's the gal that was in War Games. Okay. That film that has the Whopper pretty much gonna annihilate Seattle and Vegas. Okay, so that film that is absolutely plumb loaded of stuff as well. Guess who she is married to? Well, was married to David Lansbury. David Lansbury is relation nephew to Angela Lansbury. So we have a little tie-in, another little tie-in thing with Ali Sheedy. Sheedy? Oh man, I hate when I don't know how to pronounce a name. It's just one of those names that's like, well, I don't really. Is that really how you pronounce that, or is it some funny? But anyway, yeah, just an interesting little link there. I mean, she's been in a whole bunch of other films as well that you could kind of. I tell you the one that kind of sticks out to me. Where is it? She's got it written in here. Well, not The Breakfast Club, but of course, The Breakfast Club was 9/11. Oh man, I'm trying to think. I don't have them all down here. She was in. Anyway, I'm pretty sure she was in Home Alone 2. Just as a cameo. But again, this is funny. This is a funny story. I might as well bung this in here as well. We watched Home Alone 2. The kids had watched Home Alone 1. It's all on. It was free to watch, so we watched it, right? Well, they watched it. I didn't get to watch Home Alone 1. Obviously, I've seen it before, but this is just recently, right? So anyway, I was like, well, when you sit down to watch Home, because they want to watch Home Alone 2, I said, well, I want to watch it because there's probably some stuff in there, because of it being in New York and Donald Trump's in it, and anyway, there was a nice little reference at one point in there with I think it was the Porter Bellboy guy. I want to say he mentions it. Herbert Hoover stayed at the hotel where Macaulay Culkin was staying, right, during the film. So there was it was just a one little sentence, little thing. Okay, and I'm like, and then anyway, the family was all sitting there. I'm like, see, I said there'd be something in there with the Hoover Dam, some kind of reference to it. And they were like, okay, whatever. Well, anyway, we sat down and watched Home Alone 3 just a couple of days ago, and you just can't write this stuff. It was just so funny because we'd made it through nearly the whole film, and it was just right at the end, and there was just another little one-liner mentioning Herbert Hoover, and everybody just looks at me like, oh my god. But you just can't write the stuff. It was absolutely hilarious, at least for me it was, and I'm like, see. But they couldn't hardly believe it when the old granny, I think, mentioned it in that one. So anyway, I think I'm going to leave it there for the video. I mean, there's a whole bunch more interesting number jumps that we can do. In fact, I'll just talk through them real quick, just in case. Like, if I was to go back 143 days, this is all January the 1st stuff, but if I went back 100, in fact, let's just put it in. 143 days, it's going to take us to August the 11th. Again, another nice 118 reference, right? What other ones have we got? Again, if we go 321 days, okay, again, November the 18th, 321, if we go to the table, 321, 1, 2, 3, right here, or 3, 2, 1 for the total for that line. I mean, this is sort of stuff that's going to be, referencing. Also, 1230 happens to also be that, that many days left in the year. I mean, that day of the year, sorry. 1 day left, 364th day of the year. And again, that was referenced with this 53, the 7753 number jump from actual 9/11/2001 would take you to the 3rd of December, and then from that we can call that the 30th, and we can link back to this day. So you're all over the place with the references. Here's an interesting one. Let's put it in the thing. Hang on, let's go back to this. Let's put Madonna's birthday in backwards. Okay, 618. Okay, so if we read this backwards now, it says 816. Click to calculate. September the 11th. Very nice. Let's do. What was another interesting one? Was it? I can't remember what it was. Was it 111? 111. Was the 20? That comes to the 22nd of April. Okay. Hang on, that's a day off of the Queen. Well, look, check this out, right? Make that 110. Click it. Okay, that's the Queen's birthday, right? I'll tell you what's interesting about that. The difference between this number here and this number here is, but make sure I'm getting this right, is 110. Excuse me. Okay, that's interesting. The difference between this number here and this number here is 110. Okay, if we were to go from the 21st of May, that special number at the top of the dartboard, and we went 110 days, it would take us to the Queen's death date. Okay, so that was interesting. And also what was interesting, let me go back to this, was, let's do 78 days now, okay, the 20th of March, okay. Okay, what's interesting about the 20th of March, Dan? 78 days. Where are you even getting this number from now? Well, go back to this. The difference between 199, okay, and 254. No, what am I talking about? 11. Let's do this right. Come on. The difference between these two actually here is 55. Okay, and we'll talk about that in a minute. 199 to 254 is 55, right? But what we're doing is the 78 right now. So if we go from 11 to 89, that's 78. The number 78. So we'll do the 78-day jump, and that takes us to what am I doing? Takes us to the March the 20th. Well, let's go to March the 20th real quick, so you can see what March the 20th is. Here's March the 20th, right? Is there anything super spectacular about March the 20th? Okay, not right here, but if I go to, let's see if I've got one up with the 29th on it already. Here we go. If I go to the 29th, right, and I go 50 days, that's at, dear, 50 days, that's our magic number, bullseye, right? That's halfway between our two dates. It's going to take me to March the 20th. That's halfway. That's super significant as well. That is between the 100-day jump and our two dates that are in the table, right? That is our midway point between, let me go to it, our 7,810 day jump, which is 129, the 29th of January, and our 7,910 day jump, which is, again, right here, is the 9th of May. And that's 100 days between those two dates, and the midpoint between those two dates, the 20th of March. So again, super interesting stuff. I don't know what else I've even got in here. But I could just, I mean, I could literally do these blooming number jumps for, boy, I don't know, just loads of them there are. Oh boy, let me see, what have I got that comes to a really significant day. I'm going to leave it there because there are a whole bunch more interesting ones. You know, I can get to the 11th of October with minus 82 days. November the 10th I can get to with a minus 52. Yeah, and the reason why those two dates are interesting, going minus 52 and minus 82 to get to November the 10th and October the 11th, those two 10-11 days, is if you go plus, I could just show you it because it's easier just to try and show you than, so hang on a minute. So if we go, let's for instance do this one first. If I go minus 52, right, 10th of November, okay, the number on the dollar bill. Now if I plus 25 days, okay, do the reverse and plus it, we're at Kobe's date, okay. And if I do the same with the 82, if I minus 82, okay, that's going to take us to October the 11th. Yeah, Angela Lansbury's death date, and that's our other version of 10/11 or 11/10, 10/11, November date. If we do the opposite, which we've already done, 28 days, yeah, it takes us right here, yeah. So, I mean, it's super important, it's super interesting anyway. And of course, what else do I even say about this whole thing, really? I mean, we can do the same. The other interesting thing is, so we did 27 days back was the 5th of December, which again was super important. And if we go 72 days forward now, it takes us to pi 314. Okay, so again, we're all over the place. And I mean, if you do the December the 5th jump, again with all the Back to the Future stuff, I'm like, I need to put 55 in there. Okay, we're back there again, and 55 is super significant, yeah, because 55 again is the start of this column here, yeah. It's also the total right here, yeah, 55, and it's also the difference between this number and this number. So you can see how significant all these dates are. I mean, I'm sorry this video is probably going to end up being, boy, over an hour long, but it's just absolutely nuts. And I know I'm probably forgetting a ton of stuff on here, and that's not including all the jumps from January the 29th. Now you can do all kinds of crazy jumps from that day. I mean, I don't know, it's a video for another day, really. And in fact, I will leave it for a video for another day. But again, let's do one more little crazy connection. I think it's a jump that I can do from January the 29th. We'll go 199 days, and let's see where that takes us. 199. Okay. Queen's death date, burial date, 16th of August. Holy schmoly. This is nuts. I know, don't worry about this. Don't worry about the year, because it'll be the same, because we're not doing a leap. It's not a leap year this year coming up. It's not going to change anything there. Okay. But anyway, it might not be a Tuesday though. But the date is what we're really looking at here. Okay. So yeah, there's our 199 there. So again, I mean, it's just absolutely nuts. Again, we can put in let's just do another interesting one, 222. Did I already do this one? I don't know. 222, the Queen's death date. So I'm just like, at the minute, I'm like, it seems like every time I find another date, it's like, oh, this is pretty hot. But then I was, at the end of the day, it always ends up being I'd say a disappointment, but it's kind of an anticlimax. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, I mean, again, what we've got here. Here's another one here now. Look at this one. January the 1st this time, and we'll do minus 14 days, minus 14, right? Okay, because 14 is important. Okay, we're back to the World Cup here, right? So just add on 41 now. So add on 41. February the 11th. You know whose birthday February 11th is? It's the old calendar version of Washington's birthday. Okay. Which again, that is important, because Hang on, let me show you this one. Where is it? I know it's in here somewhere. Boy, I can't find it now though. Oh, here it is. Hang on a minute. Watch this one. We'll go to the 29th now. Okay. So we're seeing how these numbers all tie together pretty much. 319. Let's go 319 days. Let's see where that goes. Why 319, Dan? Because that was that number in the old dollar bill. Okay. If you remember that decode, guess where it takes us? Washington's death date. Okay. It's just absolutely insane, some of this stuff. Okay. Check this out, right? Do that number and just sort of flip the number around a little bit. Minus 613. Let's try that one, right? 26th of May. Well, that doesn't really mean much to anybody, but that's the day American Pie was recorded. Don McLean's version, you know. So I mean, lots of interesting number jumps. Okay, here's another interesting number jump, right? Our other date, and I haven't started plugging an awful lot of numbers for this yet, but this is our other sort of twin date here that goes along. This is that May 9th date, and if I do minus 319 here, June 24th, Champlain Towers. Again, super interesting. I mean, I'm gonna have to leave it there really for this for now. But it's, you know, it's absolutely crazy. So to basically summarize, maybe we're looking at Madonna on the for the 1st of January, 364 days remaining in the year, and again, here's our date for the Hoover Dam right here. I think the Hoover Dam. If you go by the Gaga decode, it's Madonna, Hoover Dam, and then I can't remember if it's the Golden Gate Bridge and then the Space Needle. I have to look at the video again. I can't remember which way around those two were, but anyway, that's what's going on. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there because this video is probably like mega long. Alright, thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one, hopefully. Cheers. Alright, bye.